Hello, Pax Europiana here directly in front of the Parliament of Ukraine, the cradle of democracy in Eastern Europe. It's a complicated process from time to time, democracy, but it works, yeah? And this is the light tower of democracy. It is the Ukrainian Rada, and it shines wide into the Russian field because they also know the language and they know that they were together for a long time. And this is why Russia wants to attack Ukraine. This is why Putin hates democratic European Ukraine. And this is why we need European Ukraine in order to bring democracy towards Russia. Because it's my declared aim since the time 30 years ago and in the 90s when I was seven times in Russia, that there will be a democratic Russia one day. And this video I want to devote to Igor Gaidar, to Boris Nemtsov. These are the real heroes of Russia. These are the ones who should be buried in the Kremlin wall. And the communist guys and Lenin, first of all, should be taken out. Taken out. Communist terrorist killers like the Soviet Union brought them upwards. They are really danger for the world. Yeah? They have brought down a lot of disaster over the Russian people from the 1917 revolution on, a terrorist group which is now defended by the inheritance, the legacy of this terrorist empire, Putin's and his Siloviki. These are the people trained in the light of Chashinsky, what's his name, this KGB, NKVD guy. Anyhow, and in this light, these people are trained to use all possible means, to be very brutal, to use all kind of deception, lies and every form of immorality, because this was the idea of the Soviet secret services from the start. If you read the books and the philosophy of the Russian Bolshevik underground, the condemnation of bourgeois morality, and then every single mean, doesn't matter how normally it's immoral and illegal, can be used in order to impose the will of the proletariat on the others. And you can be cruel and mean, and that's what the KGB was about. And it's not like Mrs. Kneissl said, it's nicely well-educated guys who have trained everything. Of course, you know, they were very well trained technically, physically, in order to deceive and in order to impose the will of the party proletariat on the masses with all brutality, no matter if they're at home or abroad. Yeah? This kind of brutal regime Putin is representing. And we should be very clear that we oppose it and that we believe in democracy and we fight for democracy. And we support Ukraine at that moment, yeah? Because there's also a lot of people who were raised in that spirit. But they try now to be good and they try to be European. Yeah? And they understood exactly how bad it was and they feel somehow clean the past, and they are doing that. I've made many videos now about how they removed the Lenin and Stalin cult and all the Soviet memorabilia out of the public spaces. This is very good. This is very good, and that's why Putin attacks them, because he is the ideological, historically defender of the Soviet Union. I mean, he makes it anyhow in public, yeah? And he says it very clearly. But there is, unfortunately, a lot of people on the left and the right in Europe who think somehow the Soviet Union was something not so bad, yeah, and has to be understood. Yeah. No, this was the evil empire, and there was a very clear criminal nature of that state. Yeah. And Putin is the inheritor of that kind of structure, of that kind of philosophy. And so if you say equal distance, neutrality or something like this, yeah, if this is the Austrian position, then you're siding with the others, with the Russians. And it's not one-to-one. You're siding with the enemies of freedom, with the enemies of democracy, with the enemies of human rights and any kind of morality. And don't say that all Russians are like this. Obviously, I know a lot of Russians as well, and they are really good people, yeah. But that the system of the Soviet Union was like this, there is no doubt. And that those who are defending the system of the Soviet Union or the historic legacy of Bolshevik terrorism and should not be on the same level as a democratic European nation. I mean, that I didn't have to explain to Mrs. Kneissl. She is probably intellectually capable enough to understand me. Certainly Schüssel is. And certainly Kern is. Certainly Schallenberg is. And certainly Leitl is. But they understand the money, the power of money and the color of money as well. And of reality of European power politics. And the anti-Americanism is always a good kind of a basis to go ahead and work for Russia, even when Russia is waging war. And the red carpet is always an option if no other excuse is there. You roll it out because the Russian ruble doesn't stink. Whatever, if that's a reasonable explanation, I think yes. And I'm very happy and excited that I could publish this text today to call for the withdrawal of the Austrian top political guards who all work for Putin, and they should all resign from the Russian councils. I loved my so-called alliteration very much. It was really very good. This raus aus den Russen boards, it's the way to a pun, because I call for the end of the Austrian Räterepublik. Räterepublik is the German for the Soviet Republic of Bavaria and Hungary, and some wanted to have a Soviet Republic in Austria as well in 1918, and it failed. And so situation is like this. I'm calling now for the end of the Soviet Räterepublik, meaning withdraw from the boards. Boards is the English word, it doesn't rhyme in the Soviet or in the council. But board is also council, and we have a lot of these Austrian politicians. The name, you know now, if you listen to me, but they are always Kern, Schüssel, Kneissl, and also Vranitzky was, of course, sitting on a lot of these Russian Central Asian dictators' advisory boards. West-LB he was at the time. No, he's already in retirement. I'm not sure he's involved in that one. But obviously Gusenbauer is his hair on that contacts and on that contract. And also that Sochi Forum. It's this kind of Austrian-Russian complicitly kind of think tank or whatever you call it, friendship society. It's a state-state thing. And they have the Sochi dialogue. And here all the people, Androsch and Schenz, the whole clan of pro-Russian power in Austrian politics from the side of the, basically from the Cold War. These are the same guys, yeah? They are sitting there and they are discussing these things. And that is exactly not the people I think we should lead Austria in the next century. And they are the past. They dominate the resources of Austria. And I'm not calling for a revolution, but at least resign. Go to retirement. That would be so good. Anyhow, they won't do me the favor, I guess so. But at least I could tell it on my video blog. And today, first time, I feel very relieved, because at least I could reach some public with this article. And I will now go to an internet coffee and share it as wide as I can. Raus aus den Russenräten. Anyhow, very good. More to come from Pax Europiana. This time, by the way, this is the government headquarter area here. There was the parliament. This is Lipki. It's full of ancient, beautiful building from the Tsarist time. This was a very rich country, Kiev, a rich city under normal. But Russia Empire was maybe not perfectly normal, but it was more or less normal for the 19th century, and prosperity was the result. What came later was complete disaster. As I said already, the 70 lost years of the Soviet Union were a complete disaster for these people, and for the 30 years of transition obviously could not recover because of the competition between Russia and Europe. or the Russian effort to keep Ukraine out of Europe, so it's a better formulation. And now it's time for EU membership of Ukraine, and that's my campaign. And that's what I'm working for. EU membership of this country. I would like to say that I already did that in '96. And I shake the hand of Gaidar in '98 in Moscow. I never met Mentsov. I was not that important. But let's not forget the day when he was killed. But what I wanted to say, it is that in '96 in Athens, I was advocating for Ukraine students to join EDS, and that was my level of activity, and they joined. And I once met him here, the gentleman. And yeah, we lost, of course, Ukraine, the RUK movement, and all the pro-democrats, many of them were killed, like Chernobyl. But okay, that's how the Russians do it. Don't worry for me. Russia is killing only the citizens it owns under their perspective. And so I have to close now because I'm at the presidential palace here and they will not like if I make videos here. Okay guys, more to come from Pax Europiana. Bye.